So good afternoon everybody. Myself Acharya Vishvendra, and today I shall be talking on the topic which is beyond information processing of human brain. So here is the peak of the brain, and here are the transistors as in a computer system or in any digital device which makes use of digital electronics. If we observe the reminiscence between human brain and the digital circuit NIC, or you can say the processor of the computer, then information is being processed in the very same way. In fact, computer is a mechanized human brain. Computer is developed on the basis of the functioning of the mind-brain system. So obviously mind-brain system is more fundamental and it dominates the computer or even supercomputer itself, because human mind-brain system has created the supercomputers and not the vice versa. But the problem is that humans are affected by emotions, emotional conflicts, and when emotions dominate, then processing is not able to occur at the same pace, or processing gets hindered, and that is the only challenge concerned with the human mind brain system. If by certain mechanism we can minimize the emotions or eliminate the emotions, then a human mind brain system is much stronger than a supercomputer itself and has the capacity to understand the entire universe within a limited fraction of time. But emotions disturbs the mind-brain system, they deviate the mind-brain system and interfering in its ability to discover the truth of life. That's why it is observed by some great scientists, some great thinkers like Nick Bostrom, who proposed the matrix theory of life, that life is itself a matrix and somebody from the higher dimensions is controlling our mind to direct us in a certain way, and we are trapped in the matrix itself and there exists no free will, and that is through emotions, because you don't know from where emotions comes into play and they just disturbs you unnecessarily. If you think logically, nothing is wrong with you. You are physically fit, but you don't know from how emotions comes. And if you think deeply into the emotions, then it is said that emotions are because of certain hormones induced in the brain. But there is a skepticism about this also. There are many contradictory theories like the scatters theory, Darwin's theory, but to name a few theories regarding theories of thinking, the information processing theory. Concluding in a nutshell, some of the theories believes that things takes place at the psychological level and then at the physiological level or at the level of the brain. And some theories says that things or any stimulus, to be more accurate, is first at the neurological level, then certain hormones are induced, and because of that there are emotional things or things taking place at the psychological level. We go by any theory, but one thing is common in both, that there is involvement of physiological and psychological dimensions in our experience of life. And after a certain stage, if extreme conditions are not there and there is no threat to your physicality, then psychological things dominate and you try to find a way to get out of the psychological problems or get out of the emotional conflicts within you. So your all efforts in life are just to be in a state of psychological well-being or emotional well-being. For that, we make relations with other people, because somehow we are not able to manage things ourselves. We are afraid of facing the truth of us. We are running away from what we really are internally, because it is very dark, very harsh, and it exposes ourselves to what we are. So from this video I want to throw some light on those dimensions of life which are beyond the physicality and which starts with emotions. So there are many theories of emotions, each one being diagnosed by the scientist, by the psychologist. But explaining something does not make a difference about how we feel about that. For example, we can explain anything, but there is something inside us which is not satisfied by explanations. And in fact, explanations are just a way to trap us. The fundamental curiosity inside us is to feel things directly, without any explanation, without any theory, without belief systems, until and unless you have a direct feeling of that, then you are not liberated from the curiosity. Humans are habitual to form stories to explain a certain event. But these theories are just imaginations and may not be true. Let's take an example of the great scientist Sir Thomas Alva Edison. He was playing and he saw that a bird came. It ate some insects and it flies away. And this phenomena repeated many times. Edison, being a highly curious guy, saw the pattern and he developed a theory that birds fly because they eat insects. So based on this assumption, he tried to experiment on somebody. He collected some insects, mashed them to form a sauce, and found a poor girl and said to him that I'll make you fly and feed her with that soup. She didn't fly but was rushed to the hospitals. So Edison observed this and came to know that if we observe an event of universe, then we make some stories, some explanations, some theories for that. But it is not always possible to decode the exact pattern of things going on inside for that particular event. So the pattern fetching capability of humans are not always perfect. There are limitations to this, and they are often the part of the belief system, because people believe in something which they don't have a proof for, and this is the root cause of every problem on earth. So there exists things beyond the information processing.